Morning. Yep, going really well. How's yourself?
Yeah, no complaints. The week is well and truly underway. What have you got for us this time around?
Well, this week I'd love to talk about AI. And for all the farmers that are out there, it's the artificial intelligence kind, not the other one.
Right. So, access to AI is at our fingertips, isn't it?
It's a once in a generation opportunity, really, with margins being tighter, and it's trying to do more with less. It's really an amazing opportunity for us to be able to be more productive and do a lot more in a day, but it does have its downside potentially as well.
The downside to something that's positive. How does that work?
Well, I'm not saying we get lazy, but we can start to lean on it a lot more than maybe we should. And what I've seen and what's happening is we start to lose our unique identity. So, two businesses using it in business, prompting, can potentially start to sound a little bit the same.
So, AI, I feel quite old-fashioned when it comes to AI. Like I want to take a step back and say, no, I'm happy doing things the antiquated way. But AI is here for the future. It's here to stay, isn't it, for the time being?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's no turning back now, as they say. So it's definitely something, when you think about the environment changing around you, I think it's a big environmental shift. And I would suggest that if you're not even curious about it right now, you do run the risk of potentially being left behind there.
When you say losing identity, how does it happen? It's pretty confronting. How does that happen?
Well, what can happen is AI actually works on predictions and patterns. So what it does is it looks around and sees the things that it thinks to be true, the most common stuff. So what can happen is you can have a couple of businesses, side by side, and the AI will be actually looking for similar information. So it'll start to repeat what it thinks is true as opposed to what it is that you've told it to teach you, if that makes sense.
So where does that show up on a day-to-day basis, for example?
Well, you might have like a proposal, or a customer sent you an email about, maybe they're complaining about something. So you think, I'll just quickly get AI to help me create this email response, right?
Yeah.
Which is what it's great for. But what can happen is you start to then use it. Let's get it to create me a Facebook post. I'll just get it to create me, my website wireframe, for example. And what it will do is, unless you tell it otherwise, it's basically like an employee. And if you don't give it the right instructions, it'll just come up with its own results, and you can start to sound like everyone else in your business.
So if you are headed down that track, how does a business overcome that from happening?
That's a good question. It's all about your uniqueness, right? Your unique selling proposition, what it is that's about you that makes you different to everyone else. So I like to think of it that it's the foundations. You need strong foundations to build a business. And usually our foundations are the things that make us different than everybody else. So we need those foundational documents or foundational information to feed it, for it to know what to tell us. It was a few months ago. It's changing so fastly. Like AI is evolving, exponentially
faster than we can even catch up ourselves.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. So a few months ago, everything was all about prompt engineering. Like you had to know what prompt to give it, and had to be in a certain format, and you had to tell it, you are a marketing agency and create me this thing. That's actually old news now, and now it's all about context engineering. So it really needs to know the context in which it's producing all of this information for us.
So what's it look like in practice?
Well, it's a good question, because we've actually been doing a lot of this lately, the last few weeks, and in particular, local businesses sitting down, and we put the computer to one side, right? We don't even open a computer and find out really what it is that makes you tick. So we start off with our values, and it's not just saying, well, we think this is a nice list of values. We're like, no, why do you get out of bed in the morning? What do you love about your clients? What do you love about your business? Why
Which is a good thing to know, regardless of whether you're punching it into an AI prompt or not.
100%. That's the cool thing about doing this work at the front end. This foundational piece actually has a positive side effect, that you can use all this going forward in all your decision making and growing of a business.
So with this particular business you sat down with, what's changed for them?
Well, what's happened is they now have these foundations, all of this energy that they didn't know they had, and they're in the process of recruiting team, and they're about to launch a new website. So now that we have all of our values and our vision for our business, we can use that to recruit the team that we want to recruit. We can use it to recruit the customers that we want to recruit, so it really has all of these offshoots as well.
So, and I suppose a loose way of putting it is, for those that use Facebook, you kind of, scroll through and it advertises strictly to you. All the ads are stuff you like. Your social media has become intuitive about you. So that's kind of what AI is doing as far as your business goes as well, isn't it?
100%. There's AI in that Facebook space. I don't know if you've hopped on Netflix lately. Like, I can't hardly find a movie to watch because I watched one war movie and now I'm full of war movies, right? So it's about trying to be, I think there's a guy called Seth Godin, he's a marketing guru. He calls it the purple cow, right? If you're looking at a paddock full of cows, you want to be the purple one in the middle that just sticks out.
Okay, so what's the practical takeaway from today's chat, regardless of whether you're keen on taking on AI or not?
Well, I think this is the thing to know that AI is more about just making funny cat photos, like
and posters.
That's exactly right. Yeah, get curious about it, have a crack with it, but also know that don't lose your identity and think about those foundational documents, foundational learnings and lessons that you'd love AI to have. You can create that in the front end. ChatGPT, for example, has custom instructions. So right at the front end, you can poke in your values and your mission and what it is that makes you unique. And you can create your own little agents within there as well.
Okay, all beyond me right at this very second. But if anybody wants to learn more about how to integrate AI into their business, how do we get in touch with you?
Well, we're on the interweb, savagestrategy.com.au. I'm the business bloke on LinkedIn, so you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. And happy to sit down and talk to people about how AI can help them in their business.
And right now, at this very point in time, this is you and I, two humans, having this conversation in a studio. Who knows what this is going to look like in 10 years' time? It'll be a couple of robots in it.
100%. Bring on the holograms.
No! We'll see you next week. Cheers for that.
Thank you.